Hey friends, welcome back. I hope that you're doing well today. Today is Saturday and I'm just really excited to film this get ready with me video with you guys. In today's video, I'm gonna be featuring this Morphe palette in Moonstone. This is the last Morphe palette from the 4 new ones that they launched in these 12 pan eyeshadow palettes. This is what Moonstone looks like. I've done videos on the other 3, so I have those videos linked down below if you'd like to see those palettes in action. This palette is so pretty. This is a beautiful cool toned eyeshadow palette. And then I'm gonna be using this blush for the first time. I have not used this Morphe blush yet. This is in Apre Ski. I don't know if I'm saying that right. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. I looked up how to pronounce that once and I've totally forgotten. So, you know, such a pretty like Barbie bubblegum pink. And I do have some new hard candy setting sprays that they sent me. And isn't this so cute? This is like a little like milk carton of different setting sprays. So they have a bunch of different ones. So I'm going to go over those later in the video. I'm going to go ahead and prime with my Milani eyeshadow primer, my go-to, my holy grail eyeshadow primer. And I'm mostly going to be using this Morphe Eye Blender M332 brush today. This brush is so versatile. I love this brush from Morphe. I'm gonna first use the shade here, and these eyeshadows, they do have names, but I'm just gonna point to them. It just makes things easier so you guys know what I'm using. And I'm just gonna use this as sort of like the base. The shadow is a little bit more warm toned. I mean, it does show up slightly on my skin tone, but if you were, you know, a little bit more tan or had a deeper skin tone, this might not show up quite as much. Or I guess if you were really deep, it probably would show up, but it would be like lighter. I love that these have like large, nice mirrors. The packaging on these, they're so good. I mean, I've mentioned that in several other videos, but the packaging is so nice on these Morphe palettes. So I'm gonna go in with the shade. I'm just gonna focus this a little bit more in the crease and not blend it up quite as high as that first shade. Also take it a little bit here in the outer V, just slowly deepening things up, adding a bit more depth. So easy to blend and build. I really like the formula on these. Like the only thing I would change is just that the shimmers wouldn't have so much fallout when you first apply the shadows, but sometimes that just happens with shimmers or glittery type of shadows. So I'm just slowly building that shade up to the intensity that I want. Taking some of this darker brown, and I'm just gonna stamp it right here on the eyelid and then slowly take it up into the outer V, just kind of keeping it right in here. And it's like the darker I get with these colors, like I don't take it out quite as high or quite as far, just kind of keep it a little bit more concentrated in the outer V. Getting a little bit more of that color here on the brush, and I'm really trying to build that up here on the last part of the eyelid. Then I'm just gonna wipe this brush off. I just have like a washcloth here. It's not damp or anything, it's just dry. This is what I use to like dry clean my eyeshadow brushes in between using different shades if I'm using the same brush. And it's not gonna get like all of that excess shadow off, but it does help to remove most of it. So I'm gonna go back with that very first shade that I used in the crease. I'm just gonna lightly, it's like I don't want to go over top of that dark shade too much, but I just want to blend around the edges just to make sure that that shade is peaking above everything. And then on the eyelid, we're gonna go in with the shade here. And I'm using the Morphe Eye Packer M303 brush. Just really packing that shade on the brush, tapping off the excess, and then just placing that here on the front part of the eyelid. And this is such a beautiful taupe eyeshadow. Just lightly patting it slightly over that darker color just to blend. Okay, and I'm going back with that blending brush, nothing added to it. I just want to blend right in there. And then once I get my foundation on, I'll do my brow bone highlight and the inner corner, maybe smoke some shades on the lower lash line. So I'm gonna take a makeup remover wipe and just clean up any fallout that I had, and then just like apply my skincare, which I had already applied it before I started filming, but I'm gonna need to reapply my sunscreen and everything because this is gonna wipe it off. But I was not thinking about that before I applied my sunscreen. I've still been testing out the e.l.f. Halo Glow Skin Tint. I've been loving this. So I just put some of it here on the back of my hand, and I'm using shade 4, Light Neutral. And I'm just gonna dot it around my face and then blend it out with my makeup sponge. And if you haven't seen my last video where I was reviewing this foundation, I really like this. I know that this is a little bit more expensive for the drugstore and for e.l.f., but the coverage on this is so nice. Like, I mean, it's a light to honestly full coverage foundation, in my opinion. I really can get a good full coverage out of this. And as long as I set this with the powder, it lasts all day long. So I just think it's an amazing foundation. It looks gorgeous on the skin. So I think e.l.f. knocked it out of the park. And I think one of the reasons why this is a bit more pricey for a foundation is just because it's got such a high SPF in it. I'm sure all of that costs a lot for a company to do. So I'm sure that's part of the reason why it's a little bit more expensive than some of the other skin tints out there that just don't have an SPF or don't have a very high SPF. Like the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator, I'm sure it can be a lot cheaper just because of the fact that it doesn't have sunscreen in it. Okay, so I mean, it looks extremely illuminating before you set it with a powder, but that's what it looks like on the skin. I feel like I still have sleep lines on my face. And then I'm gonna use the Tarte Shape Tape today for my concealer, and I'm just using the shade Light. This is just one of my go-to favorite concealers of all time. And I do love this concealer for the summer just because it's also very long wearing, lasts through heat and humidity. Okay, off camera, I went ahead and filled in my eyebrows with the Maybelline Build-A-Brow in the shade Ash Brown. One of my very favorite brow products. And then I also conditioned my lips with the Vaseline Rosy Lips. So before I set everything, I'm gonna go ahead and bronze with the e.l.f. Liquid Bronzer Contour in the shade Light. It has been a minute since I've used this, and I want to use it with this Halo Glow Skin Tint just to see how these work together. So we'll just start out with 2 little dots. And then I'm just going to use my bronzing brush from that Amazon brush set that I use all the time. Love this brush for liquid products. And I've got a cat here. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. Remember that meme? There's just no surprise that I have cat hairs on my face at all times. Okay, yeah, that is beautiful. Blended out so well with the skin tint. I mean, I know I was raving about this e.l.f. Halo Glow Skin Tint in the last video, but I really am so shocked that I like it this much. Especially since it is like a really dewy product. Like I really thought it was not gonna hold up well on my skin because I'm more oily in the summer, but so far it is amazing. But dang, this weekend it's gonna be so hot. Like, I think the high today is supposed to be like 90 or something like that. Both today and tomorrow are gonna be probably like the hottest days that we've had. And it's supposed to feel like over 100 with the humidity. So definitely really good pool days. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get to the pool this weekend, but maybe. We'll just see how this weekend shapes up. But I hope that where you live, you are staying cool and enjoying the summer. Like, I just love summer, even though it is super hot out. Like, I love the sun and just that the sun stays out longer. And now I'm gonna go ahead and set all of this. And I'm just using the MCO Beauty Miracle Flawless Pressed Powder. Like, this has just been my go-to favorite setting powder. I love this. This is definitely a dupe to the Charlotte Tilbury Miracle Setting Powder, whatever hers is called. I have used that powder before, really like it. Don't like the price tag on it. This powder, I think from MCO Beauty, might have just slightly a little bit more coverage than the Charlotte Tilbury one. But yeah, it really does make the skin look airbrushed. Maybe that's what the Charlotte Tilbury one's called. Airbrush Miracle Setting Powder or something like that. Okay, and then up under the eyes, I like to go in with like a triangle little powder poof. Got this from Amazon, and then I'm just gonna lightly set that concealer. And also just make sure my T-zone is set well. Then before I do the blush, we're gonna finish out the eyes. Not too much left to do, but for my brow bone highlight, I'm going in with this matte white. Tap off the excess. And I'm just gonna lightly brush that here underneath my brow bone. And for the inner corner, I'm gonna go in with a sparkly white. And I'm gonna brush this here in the inner corner. Also take it up on the eyelid just a little bit, just to kind of lighten that inner corner area. On the lower lash line, I'm gonna go in with some of this shade on the pencil E30 brush from Sigma, and I'm just gonna smoke this here on the lower lash line. Then I'm going to take some of this shade on that same brush and just focus this right here. Also kind of connect it up to the outer V just to deepen this outer corner of the lower lash line. And that is it for the eyes until I do the mascara. But this is such a beautiful smoky, cool toned eyeshadow look. I feel like this would be so beautiful on like a deep winter if you're familiar with seasonal color analysis. So just such a good smoky eye. Okay, next we're moving on to the blush palette, and I'm so excited to use this. And I can't decide if I want to use this sparkly color. Like, it's just so pretty. And normally I don't like sparkly on me, but I might have to use that just because it looks so pretty. I can't decide if I want to use all three of these or if I just want to use just two. Let's just go in with a little bit of all three. So I'm going to go in with this cream balm type of blush at the top. I'm going to tap off some of the excess on the back of my hand, and then I'm going to lightly tap this on the cheeks. Okay, yeah, kind of got it a little bit more concentrated right there. Okay, but this is blending out nice. Okay, next I'm going to go in with the middle color with all the glitter. We'll see how this works. Is she gonna be too glittery? Okay, actually, I don't really see the glitters too much. It just looks glowy, which I'm surprised. Now I have that surprise, surprise stuck in my head. So when I said that, I thought of that. Maybe some of you guys don't know what I'm talking about. Just look it up on Instagram. Okay. And then to apply the powder, I'm going to go in with the Morphe Powder Bronzer M241, just like the angled brush. I'm going to get some of the powder on this brush here. Tap off the excess. And then apply that on top of all the cream, just to set. It's like, since I'm using all three, I feel like I have to really not get too heavy-handed. Like, I know this looks really intense, but I will go back with my sponge or like my makeup brush to, my powder brush to kind of tone down how intense this is. But I love that these blushes basically work on any skin tone, whether you're a lighter skin tone or really deep. I think these blushes look beautiful on all skin tones. Especially like these brighter ones, like the pink, the red, the like dark plummy one, which I don't have that one, but I kind of want to get it. Okay, and before I do my lips and finish out my eyes, I was gonna share with you guys like these setting sprays, which I have not used any of these yet, but Hard Candy released 6 new setting sprays. So we have the Grip on Lock setting spray. What does this remind you guys of? Like the e.l.f. one, the e.l.f. Power Grip setting spray. That is exactly what it looks like there, how it's got like the oil and the spray. And I will say that e.l.f. one was not my favorite because I did not like the way it smelled. Okay, yeah, this does not have the smell like the e.l.f. one. So I might be able to get down with this one in the winter when my skin's a little bit more just like normal. Then they have the Glow and Lock setting spray illuminating skin. And this has like a pearly base in there once you shake it up. It's got like one of those little beads in there to kind of help mix up the shimmer in the spray. They have this other one in Matte on Lock setting spray, and this one's supposed to control shine, blurs pores, and smooth skin, soft focus finish. I might use this one today just to see how this looks on me since, you know, summertime, a little bit more oily. Then they have the Skin Rescue facial spray, redness relief, soothes and helps prevent irritation. So I feel like this might be one that you would use like before you do your makeup. It says a soothing facial spray with hypochlorous acid for fast redness relief. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Use AM and PM to help prevent redness and throughout the day after a workout to refresh and purify skin. So I don't really think this is like for a makeup setting. This is more of like a skincare one. So that's really cool. And then I thought that this was really interesting. This is a makeup remover spray, easily dissolves makeup. So I'll have to use this at night before I wash my face and see how this works. I've never seen this done by a makeup brand, so this is really cool. It says hydrate skin with coconut oil. Then this is just the classic Look on Lock setting spray, all day stay, sweat and water resistant. So this is typically the setting spray that I would go for is this one. So I'll have to use that one in another video, but today I want to use the Matte on Lock setting spray, Controls Shine. So I just want to get it going. And let's go ahead and mist this on. I will say, oh my gosh, like what just happened there? Do you guys see that? Oh my gosh. Let me see if I can get this blended out. Like, why is that black? Oh. Wow. Okay, I don't know if like maybe somehow that spray broke down the black of the bottle, but oh my gosh, that just basically messed up all of my makeup. Oh my gosh. Oh no, now it's like turning powdery. What is happening? Like, do you see that? Look at all that in my hair. Oh my gosh. This is a fail. Oh my gosh. Like, I don't know if it's gonna like tone down the powder. I feel like I just tap on it and it comes straight back. Oh my gosh. Like, can we save this? I don't know. Ugh. Man, I feel like it looks like I got dandruff like all over my face and in my brows. Okay, so that is a fail. Do not, I repeat, do not buy this. I don't know if I needed to mix it up more. I don't know. That was insane. Let's brush through my eyebrows and see if I can get that powder off. I don't know. Did I apply that wrong? Have you guys seen anybody else use that? Like, what in the heck? Oh, I just don't know if I can save this. See, look, I'm keeping it real here. Like, I'm showing you guys these products in real time. In action. All right, let's use the lock-on setting spray. I'm kind of scared. Is this gonna work? That was crazy. I feel like I'm gonna have to brush my hair out now. All right, maybe I should like wait a second and see what this looks like on my skin. What does this smell like? Okay, I think this is gonna be okay. It does look a little dewy. Okay, so let's cross our fingers and hope this looks okay. This is the Hard Candy Look On Lock Setting Spray. Okay, the sprayer is definitely better with this one. That was probably just coming out so weird because it is like a powder basically. But that was so weird that it was black first, right? Like, what was up with that? It was like black and then it turned white. That was so weird. Okay, so I'm gonna let that dry and then we'll come back and finish out the rest of this look. Oh, which I'm getting my hairbrush to kind of brush that powder out. Oh, wow. Which also too, I forgot to mention with those setting spray, they're supposed to be all alcohol free. Yeah, because like their little info thing on here about the setting sprays, which there's a cat hair on there, no surprise. But if you would like to pause the video and read what they have here for the setting sprays there. And it says they're all supposed to be fragrance free, which those two that I just used had no fragrance. So I don't know how I feel about that matte one. Definitely don't recommend. Off camera, I went ahead and did my mascara, and on the upper, I used the Revlon Full-Time Mascara, and then on the lower, I used the e.l.f. Lash Extender. And for the lips today, I'm debating on what I want to do. I was thinking about using the CoverGirl Outlast Lip Stain. This is in this shade Epic, which is like a bright pink. I thought that would pair really nicely with the blush. Or I also thought about using the CoverGirl Clean Fresh Lip Balm in Life is Pink. That's also a really great pink color. So let's go in with this CoverGirl one today. Like, it's been a while since I've used this. Okay, and then over top of this, I'm going to use the Maybelline Lifter Gloss in Bubblegum. These pair really well together. And I might actually put a little bit more of that blush on. Like, I just want like my cheeks to stand out a little bit more. And honestly, like I feel like I need a little bit more bronzer. I don't know if it's because I use cool tone colors today. And since I'm more warm tone, sometimes if I use cool tone, I look a little dead. I have noticed that. Even though I was going through a period of time where I thought I was a cool skin tone, I really just don't think I am. I'm just going in with some more of the powder. And I want to go in with some powder bronzer. I just feel like I need to warm my skin tone up. I don't know if like that powder like really just washed me out or what, like toned down everything. Let's go in with this actually. I'm going to use the Dollar Tree bronzer. This is a good one to just warm up the face. Just going in with the Sigma F30. Just going to go around my hairline here. And it's like, I know I already did the setting spray, but this is probably why I should have done the lips before the setting spray, so I would know if I needed to add any more bronzer or blush. Okay, so I think that just warms the look up a little bit more, and it's like, to be honest, like I really want to put a little bit of pink in my crease. So let's do that just to warm things up a little more. Like this is just always what I need to do if I'm using cool tones. Just kind of mix it with some warm to balance it out. Okay, so this is the makeup look done. I think I saved everything after that setting spray debacle. So I love this eyeshadow palette. I think that this would be perfect for somebody that's more cool skin toned, or if you just like more cool tone neutral eyeshadows. I think for me, my favorite ones from that collection is definitely like, I don't know, it's like so hard for me to say. Like I love the warm toned one in Flickering Sands. I love the Rose Frequency and also the Electric Current. Like those three are probably going to be like my most reached for, just because I am more warm skin toned. But anyway, I hope that you guys did enjoy this get ready with me today. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. Thank you so much if you stayed till the end, just hanging out with me. I love you guys, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye. Mwah.